I'm an addict for sneakers.
Happy New Year! It is a new year, and this is my first podcast of the year. Let's get right into it. We're just going to do Q&A today. And first, we're going to talk about my thoughts on the Lebron 14. Dope or nope? And this is from ballhard_D. I gotta see him in person, to be honest with you. From the photos, they definitely look better than the 13, but they kind of remind me of like a KD mid-top, almost like, with a few extra little here's and there's. I don't know, man. I don't understand why Nike can't put out shoes that is for on the court and off the court also. Why do they keep just giving us strictly basketball shoes? I know some people are going to say, well, they're basketball shoes. No, duh. I know they're basketball shoes, but so were Jordan 3s. But we were wearing them outside of playing basketball. Like, come on. You know? The LeBron 7, LeBron 8, LeBron 9. You know, these are shoes we are wearing outside of the courts. So, like, get out of here with that. For anyone that's going to tell me that nonsense. Like, it's ridiculous. Even the Kobe's, like, the Kobe's, at least you can still kind of rock them off the court. These don't look right, you know? I just don't get it. Shawnee, you want me to speak about all the Jordans dropping in 2017? I'll probably do an actual video on that really soon, because it's a lot of them. Next we got from Primetime Souls, something special. I don't know what that means. But shout out to you. Next we got from Michael Francisco. He writes, thoughts on the Kyrie 3. My thoughts on it, it looks like what the Kyrie 2 should have been, and the Kyrie 2 looks like what the Kyrie 3 should have been. It's like they went backwards with this model. I totally don't get it. The 3 is too similar to the 2, and I like the 2 better than the 3. That's my opinion. I think that like rubber spike look toward the back is cool, but besides that, what do they do? You know, the strap is gone now. It's just so similar, the silhouette of the shoe. Way too similar. It's beginning to be like the D Wade's. Like every D Wade shoe looks the same to me. Where are they at? Like the D Wade 5, like you can't even tell the difference unless you like really go hard for Dwayne Wade sneakers. And they're nice quality, but they all look too much the same to me. Next we got from Lewis the 13th. He writes, Dels, is the limited release of Yeezys getting old? I just think that it's time for them to actually release a general release one. If they're going to keep putting out all these colorways, put out one general release shoe and one colorway. Put it out. Next we got from Metaphor Kicks. Writes, grown-ups that will invest $500 a month on sneakers but struggle to pay their bills. Yeah, that's something that's out there a lot. You know, a lot of people, they're living like shit, but they got all these kicks. You know, I don't get it, man. I don't get it at all. It is what it is, man. Some people are wilding, you know. You got to get your priorities right. If you can't pay for it, don't buy it, you know. If you don't got the cash for it, don't buy it. It's as simple as that. Don't charge it. You're just going to get caught up in bills if you keep charging and charging. That's my advice. Next we got from SNES JCD. Writes, how do I feel about the Hollyweed Sign? I thought it was funny. You know, for people that don't know, the Hollywood sign on the mountains in Cali, they changed the Hollywood to Hollyweed and replaced the 2 O's with 2 E's. And for me, like, I have no connection to that. I'm a guy from New York, so I'm just like, whatever. I don't really care about that. But maybe for people out there, maybe they got offended by it. I could see older people being offended by it. And I could see, like, you know, teenagers thinking it's funny. That's probably what it is, you know. Maybe some older heads think it's funny too. But I can't see, like, the younger heads being upset about it. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Let me know how you feel about it. You know, hit me up on my Twitter at DJ Dels and let me know how you feel about anything I speak about. And next we got from NSFW Brian. He writes, what must Jordan Brand do in 2007 to top 2016? Same goes for Adidas. With Adidas, I don't really know, because to be honest with you, I wasn't really that impressed with Adidas this year. I know a lot of people were, but I think it's just because a lot of people are just following that wave because it's more popular to wear like NMD Boost now versus wearing J's. But for me, I thought Jordan like did their thing major this year versus Adidas. Like, what did Adidas really do? They put out some collabs that were super limited, and Hypebeast went crazy over, and then you have the blogs that half of them are working for these brands. You know, they're getting cut checks, and they're just trying to brainwash you to like certain stuff. You know, it's a whole just thing, you know what I mean? So a lot of people are just brainwashed, and it's like people are just sheeps when it comes to fashion and what's going on. To me, in 2016, Jordan Brand did their thing. The only thing that they didn't do well was like the Jordan 3, True Blue, and a few other like releases like they really didn't need to release because the colorways were kind of whatever. But for the most part, I think they did their thing. And for 2017, if they do what they did in 2016, I'm happy with it, to be honest with you. I got no complaints. And next we got from Hustleman92, writes thoughts on the LeBron 14. I already spoke about it, and then he also writes he enjoys my podcast and my reviews. Thanks for your question, dude. Even though I already answered it, I appreciate you. I appreciate anyone that, you know, watches, listens to what I do. Thank you. For real. And next we got from Heat Ledger Kick. Shout out to him. And he writes, most anticipated Jordan release. I would say for the public, probably the Black Cement 3s. But for me, I really want them to bring back the Air Jordan Midnight Navy 6. Just because I collect the Jordan 6. Like, that's the one model I actually collect. Like, I want to own all the colorways. And the pair I have is so beat up. It's like rotting in the midsole. Like, it's literally falling apart on the Midnight Navy 6s. And I don't even think they're releasing in 2017. But, like, that's my most anticipated Jordan retro to come out again, whether it's this year, next year, year after that. But, you know, I don't know exactly where you want me to go with this, but if it's this year, it's definitely the Black Cement 3s. I'm pretty sure those are releasing, and I just love that shoe so much, you know, so I would like to own it with the Nike Air on the back. I think that would be real dope just to be able to wear that. You know, when I was a kid, when that shoe released, I was really little, and I would see, like, you know, the kids wearing them, the older guys wearing them, and I always thought they were so cool, like, you know, and I just would love to get that pair, like, in its true form, because when I was able to buy them, it had the Jumpman on the back. It didn't have the Nike Air on the back. That's definitely one of my most anticipated pairs of shoes that I would love to own for sure. Next we got from Andre254. He writes, love the vids on YouTube and the podcast. My question is there a pic of the Bread 4s with the Nike Air on the back? And it's expected to release sometime this year. What's my thoughts? I don't know if that shoe's releasing or not. I'm hearing it is, but I don't think there's any pictures yet. I think if there is, they may not be real legit pictures. But I would love that shoe to come back too. I forgot about that. There is people that are talking about that shoe coming back. So, you know, I mean, if they release both of those in 1 year, that'd be crazy. But I can't see them releasing both of those. They'll probably release one or the other. And I think it actually may be the Bread 4, not the Black Cement 3s. Let me know. Leave your feedback. Leave your comments. Hit me up on Twitter. If you're listening to this on SoundCloud, you know, you can leave your comments there. I may post this on YouTube. If I do, leave your comments there. I'm like, the thing is that I don't know if I want to post this on YouTube anymore, because whenever I post this podcast on YouTube, people complain, I don't want to just hear audio. I want to see you. And, you know, because they're used to seeing video. But some people are used to just going on my YouTube, and now they're not listening to my podcast anymore because it's just on iTunes and other platforms, you know, that play the audio. So I'm stuck, like, what do I do? But I think I'm going to post this one on YouTube. So if I do, make sure to let me know that you are glad this is on YouTube, so I don't skip out next podcast and say, I didn't really get much feedback. You know, people didn't really care so much about the upload, so I'm not going to upload it no more. Because I don't mind uploading it on YouTube as long as you guys like it. But whatever platform you're checking this out in, just show that love. It really helps a lot. All right, next we got from Derek. He writes, the upcoming release of the Playoff 12 in a low. What's your take on it, Dells? Because I'm completely let down. I'm not into low 12s at all. Like, I think the 12 in a low just is horrible. It just ruined such an amazing pair of kicks. Gotta stay OG with the 12. Like, you know, that silhouette is just special as is. I don't agree with the 12 ever being a low top. But some heads love the low 12s. No. I'm not a big fan of low top Jordans. Like, keep them as is. You know, they started doing them back in the days over 10 years ago, you know. And I never really was super crazy about them. I like the Jordan 11 lows. I hate the Jordan 6 low. And I love the Jordan 6. Like, I won't wear a pair of Jordan 6 lows. When they released those black and chrome 6s, the low top ones, like, I didn't get those. I was like, hell no. I'll never wear that. Ever. Next we got from Chillax47 writes, foams are dead. Thoughts? I don't think they're dead. I think that it's just that the sneaker culture is like shifted, and like it's just so many people that are just jumping in like as a fad right now. You see so many like kids that they won't be into sneakers in a couple of years. You know, some of them will be, but a lot of them won't be. And they're coming in now where foams aren't popular, so it's not as big of a deal. And I feel like in 2016, now we're at 2017, no one cares about the past. They only care about what's going on today and tomorrow. So they don't like really understand the culture, like the sneaker culture. They just understand buy, trade, sell, buy, trade, sell. That's why if you look, man, even the people on YouTube, like a lot of them are just like complete hype beasts that just run with whatever is going to get them views and this, that, and even dress certain ways. Like, people trying to, like, not be themselves too a lot. Like, people are just trying to be part of that herd of sheep and try to get up front of that herd as far as the YouTubers or anyone that's doing any kind of form of entertainment as far as putting something out there for people that love sneakers. Like, someone like me, I'm just going to be me. And if you like me, great. I want you to like me. I don't want people to dislike me. But I'm not going to, you know, try to do what's gonna, you know, make you wet. I'm gonna try to get you moist. Pause for all the fellas listening, you know. But I'm not gonna do that. That's the big difference between me and others. Foams will never be dead in my book. I think they're amazing shoes. They're so dope. They look so futuristic. When you break them in, they're so comfortable. Just a sweet pair of kicks, you know. Next we got from Harris Made. He writes, how do you feel about UA's stock falling because of the flop of the Curry 3? I personally don't care. I feel bad for the people that may be losing their jobs, but as far as the company, you know, I don't work for them, but that's the only thing I would feel bad about is the people losing their jobs. The Curry 3, I mean, it's just the same as the other shoes. There's nothing special about it, and they raised the price up. I think they hiked it up like $10. That's what someone was telling me. I may be wrong. Maybe they didn't raise the price, but I'm pretty sure they jacked up the price like $10. So it's more money than the Kyries. Aren't you going to buy the Kyries before the Curries because they're a lower price? If you're a mother or a father or a grandma or grandpa buying shoes for their kids, you're going to buy the shoe that's a little less expensive that has the Nike name to it. It was stupid marketing. You know, if Under Armour really did raise the price, that was so stupid because you have to compete with Nike and you are putting out a product that's more expensive than Nike. Everyone's going to buy the Nike. Nike is more attractive to people's eyes. Everyone knows of Nike being the best, not Under Armour. Even though Under Armour's good, dumb marketing. Whoever thought that they should jack up the price or even like do what they did, like they just have the wrong people marketing their products, you know. And once again, when I go back, when I talk about like the Lebrons and the Kyries, put out shoes that people could wear off the court. Steph Curry's one of the best NBA basketball players, and you got a shoe that kids can't wear really off of the court. I mean, they could if they wear joggers, but Make something dope, you know? Instead, they like put out the silhouette and put it in suede and try to push it as a luxe edition, and you know they mail them to like the people on Instagram, YouTube, the blogs, and they're trying to make it like it's something special, but it's not. It's not nothing special. Sorry, but it's not. Next we got from Vin. He writes, what do I think about LeBron sneakers? Will they receive more love and hype in the future as the Air Jordans are today? Man, we'll see. We'll see if that 14 does anything, but I don't think it's gonna. I've been around to see all these LeBrons release, and when I seen the 14, I didn't get that feeling that I got when I seen like the 7, the 8, the 9, the 10, the 11, like those feelings I got when I seen them, like, oh my God, I can't wait to buy them. You know, that was the feeling I got. I don't have that feeling anymore. I've lost that feeling, you know? Like the 12 I liked, but it wasn't like, it was like fading at the 12, you know? Next we got from Mog21. He writes, what are some Air Jordan 3s that haven't retroed that you look forward the most to release? And what do you think about the Air Jordan 1 Metallic series? I don't know exactly what you mean, the Metallic series. Are you talking about the Air Jordan 1 that was in the briefcase? The anniversary one? If that's the case, I thought it was a little glittery, and I wasn't too fond of that one. I thought it was cool it came in the briefcase, though. And the Air Jordan 3 that I want to come back out, besides the black cement, is the Do the Right Thing Air Jordan 3s. That's a dope pair of kicks. They need to retro those. Next we got from the Chuck29. He writes, your likes and dislikes of the sneaker culture and how we can improve. Much love and respect. God bless. Thank you. God bless you too, man. As far as with the sneaker culture, it's just not even a culture anymore for the most part. You know, it's like, I don't even think it's a culture. It's just all about people making money for the most part. I mean, I know I have a lot of my viewers, I know they are like real like sneaker head, sneaker addicts, people that really love the culture. But I think that for the most part, the culture is dying, you know. People don't pay homage to like the past, you know, like all these like amazing like sneakers, like people forget about like the history behind it. They don't even care about the history behind it to the actual people, you know. I heard someone make a top 5 or top 10 list of YouTubers, and they called people OGs that used to review fake sneakers, like literally fakes from like these Chinese spots for like years, and they're calling them OGs now. And I'm watching this like, are you fucking kidding me? And this is supposed to be the sneaker culture, and that's no shots at the person who did that video. It's me just kind of, you know, being someone to, you know, drop knowledge and drop that science and open people's eyes. Like, OG, like, you know, OGs are people that's been like doing it since day one. Like, OG ain't someone that's just been doing it for like 4 years, you know what I mean? Like, people just got it all. It's just crazy. I can't even call it, man, you know? It's just people don't respect the people that paved the way. Like, and without that, there's no culture. Just like the hip-hop culture's dead. Like, there's people that don't even know, like, what the first Wu-Tang album sounds like. Like, they can't even name, like, 3 songs off Wu-Tang's first album, you know? Like, what happened to hip-hop culture? Like, it's more than just sneaker culture. It's every culture. Like, a lot of culture is just all about what's going on tomorrow. No one gives a shit about what happened in the past. They don't care about, you know, the people that paved the way, the people that put in that work when it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about all that. It was just about the love, you know what I mean? And now it's all about that paper, you know? It's all about that paper. And culture isn't supposed to be all about that paper. I understand we all gotta get money. Trust me, I know. I got 2 kids. But that's what it is with the culture. That's what we got from Alex. He writes, what's my thoughts on the upcoming releases in the next few months? I'm not really that excited about anything of yet, but we'll see. You know, I can't think off the top what's releasing, but, you know, I seen the Chinese New Year 12s, and I wasn't that impressed with them. I wasn't, like, thinking they were trash, but I thought they were kind of whatever. There should be a review up soon if it's not up already. I seen some low top 12s that I wasn't feeling. Like, everything I've seen, I'm just not that impressed yet. Nothing, you know, I'm like, wow about it. Shout out to Steven. He's asking about the 14s. I already answered that. Chris writes, opinion on Yeezy resale value going way down. The reason why the resale value has gone down so much is because of the fact that, like, Adidas keeps putting out colorways. They're still limited amounts, but they're putting out a bunch of different colorways, so people can't resell them for as much because there's more pieces out there. Versus, like, with Nike, they released, the Yeezy 1, the Yeezy 2. I think they put out about 1,500 pairs of each colorway, if not less. And that's it. There's no more Nike product with Yeezy. But with Adidas, they keep slowly putting out more and more, and it's just making the shoes worth less and less as they keep putting out more and more. And as they keep putting out more and more, the shoes are going to be worth less and less and less and less. That's why I think that Adidas really needs to just put out one general release and just hit it now, you know what I mean? Like, just make that money for the actual company, so everyone will wear one colorway, and then go back to keeping it limited release so that they can, use Kanye as promotion, because that's what they use him as a promotional tool, or else they would give him his own shoe that would be carrying in all the malls. Like, you see how Kylie Jenner with her Pumas, they sell everywhere. They need to do that with Kanye with one colorway. Just put out one colorway. They're going to sell like crazy. Now's the time to do it. And it seems like Adidas and Kanye are going to stay together for a good amount of time. So that's my opinion on that. Next we got from Original J writes, what Jordan do you want to see come back with Nike Air next? I would love to see the black infrared 6. And I think it may be coming back really soon. Because there's like these images that are out. If you haven't seen them, you could go to thesneakeraddict.com, where you've seen Mark Wahlberg at Nike Corp. And he got like all these Jordans, a lot of sneakers that didn't come out yet. And one of the sneakers on the table is a black infrared 6. And they didn't release those not too long ago, so I'm assuming that they're going to put them back out with the Nike Air on the back. And if that's the case, that would be awesome. I'd love that. Next from 916 Kicks, thoughts on upcoming Yeezy colorways. I basically spoke about that. Next we got from DDGB Boy writes, can we finally see some pictures of your shoe, man? Come on. Haha. Love your channel, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate that you are interested in the sneaker, and hopefully in the next few months you will be able to see it. It's just, it's top secret right now, man. I have the sneaker. It's actually right near me. I have 2 pairs, 2 samples. And hopefully it will release in June. It's supposed to release June 2017. So let's just pray that does come out. And hit up Saucony Originals on Instagram. Tell them you're excited about my sneaker. Like, when they read that like really like helps me out. Makes them see like that people actually want the shoe. And I thank everyone that actually does that. Next we got from Fresh Pair 13. He writes, what do I think about Nike releasing the same Jordans over and over again? I don't mind it. I mean, I always see those memes where it's like Jordan laughing, they're buying my sneaker again. Sneakers you're supposed to wear. They get dirty, they get creased, they get messed up. You want a new fresh pair of them. That's why they release again and again. Some people just keep collecting them and not wearing them. But those are the collectors. Like, for me, like, the Jordan 9 that released, everyone's calling now the Space Jam 9, which I'm totally fine with because it makes sense because it was in the movie Space Jam and he was retired. I actually like that. I had that shoe last time it released and I messed it up. It creased like crazy. I wanted a new pair. I got a new pair and it was fantastic. I got a new pair to wear. So I don't see anything wrong with them releasing the same shoes over and over again. The only time I see something wrong with it is if it's a shoe that no one wants, then why the hell are you releasing it again and again? Next we got from St. Kinston 39 writes, what do I think about the Jordan 4 Pure Moneys coming back this year? Love you, man. Keep up the work. Love you too. Much love. I can't wait. I love that. I love those all-white Jordan 4s, like with the anniversary pack. That was the last time they released all those white Jordans. The Jordan 9 they came out with, the Jordan 11, the Jordan 4, of course, Jordan 3. I think they even did the 2, and I know they did that 1, but the 1 was like sparkly, as I was saying before in that case. I think that's great that they're putting that back out. Next we got from Chillmatic89. He writes, How do I feel about Jordan Brand oversaturating the market with low-top sneakers? I don't understand it. I really don't get it. Maybe they're trying to cut costs with materials, and that's a joke. I don't really think that, but I don't get it either. Next question from Sneak Geek 87. He writes, what do you feel is a good way to grow your YouTube audience? I'm putting out content, but I can't seem to figure out how to make people see my stuff. Well, the thing is, like with sneaker YouTube, there's so many people that are already doing it, and it's tough to do it now. Like when I first did YouTube videos, it was like 2007 or 2008, and there was like 10 of us, if that. Probably was like less than that. So it was a lot easier to develop, but at the same time, the average person that's into sneakers falls off every like 2 to 3 years. That's why some people like say, how do you have all these subscribers and you don't get the same like views matching that? And the reason why is because a lot of my subscribers are probably old subscribers that barely watch my videos because they're not into sneakers like they used to. And that's just the truth of the matter. And anyone that's been on YouTube for at least 6 to 7 years, they will agree with me. You know, subscribers subscribe, and then, you know, after a couple of years, if your channel is devoted to one thing and mine is sneakers, they kind of just get tired of it. And that's why I suggest people that do YouTube videos, if you're going to do sneaker stuff, you got to do something that's super different. You know, it's a tough pocket to get in. You know, if you're playing pool, that's a tough shot right there. If you're trying to be successful on YouTube and get views, just stick with just vlogging and just random vlogging. And it's all about having the right titles now, nothing too long, and there's so much more to it. See, with me, like, I'm getting tired of YouTube, but at the same time, I love YouTube because I've been doing it so long. I love turning on the camera, and I love entertaining. And there's people that's been watching me since I first started still, and those are like the people that keep me going, or else I'd probably stop right now because it's changed so much. You know, like YouTube in general has changed. They keep changing stuff up. Now it's more than just hitting the subscribe button. You have to hit the bell now, or else you don't get notified. And I hope everyone that's listening to this, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. But if you are subscribed to youtube.com/The Sneaker Addict, please go back to my channel. There'll probably be a link in the description box, and hit the bell button. It's very important, or else you're not going to get notified every time I put out a new video. But you just got to hang in there, man. I watch your channel, man, and I've met you a couple of times. SneakGeek87, that's his YouTube channel. He's a cool dude. Check out his channel. I like his vlogs. And next we got from Eric. He writes, thoughts on the Royal Blue Foamposite coming back out. I'm not that excited because I have them already, and they're in great condition still, so I'm really not that excited. I mean, if you don't own them, you should be excited because it's an awesome pair of shoes, but people weren't excited about the Dr. Dooms that came out. And I couldn't believe that, you know. Mr. Unloved Ones writes, how do I feel about the state of the sneaker culture? I kind of already spoke about that, but shout out to you for leaving a question. And then next we got Hip Hop Jare. He writes, being a teenager, I never got to witness Jordan play for the Bulls or Kobe in his prime, so my MJ is LeBron James. Do you ever think he will ever pass MJ or Kobe in terms of court production and legacy? I think it's possible. I definitely think it's possible. People think that LeBron is too old, but he's really not that old at all. And as long as he doesn't get hurt, he's incredible on the court, you know. To me, he's more of a Magic Johnson, not a Michael Jordan or a Kobe. He's an amazing passer. He's got so much more skills than just being someone who plays offense. And I'm not saying that Jordan and Kobe were not good playing defense, but LeBron has like the full package, man. Like, and that's how Magic Johnson was in my eyes, you know. Except that LeBron is built like a freight train, you know. And the only thing that I wish LeBron would do more is that freight train just straight to the rim and just dunk more like he used to do with the Heat. He don't do that with the Cavs like he used to, but my guess, he will definitely win another ring this year. Huge fan of LeBron James, just like I am with Kobe and Michael Jordan, you know. But you can see it already. LeBron's already beating a lot of records. And he's an awesome guy. Like, have you ever heard anything really great that Michael Jordan's ever done outside of basketball? I haven't. I've heard a lot of horror stories about people trying to meet him and him being like really rude and obnoxious. Like, I've heard nothing but amazing things about LeBron James, like outside of basketball. So, and even Kobe, I've heard great things about. So, you know, I hope that LeBron beats a lot of those records. Next, we got from Salmon. He writes, "What's the best Jordan of all time?" My answer, the Air Jordan 6. Next, we got from Dutch Westwood. "What kind of mistake, if any, have you made to damage your sneakers while inebriated?" I think that's what he wrote. I think that means drinking. I've scuffed my shoes, like going out to the bars, you know, scuffed the hell out of the midsoles of Jordans, and it sucks, you know. Because, you know, when you're drinking, you don't care. You're not thinking about your sneakers. You're just having a good time. And then next we got, someone just sent me a message, said like something about Soulja Boy getting punched out. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the dinging is here. It was live, or I don't even know, man. People are wild, man. Soulja Boy is wilding out, right? Like, that dude is wild, man. I always listen to DJ Academics just clown on him. It's hilarious. I'm sure a lot of you guys watch DJ Academics' YouTube channel. This is one of my favorite YouTube channels, by the way. You know, people ask me what's my favorite YouTube channel. Definitely, his is one of my favorite. I don't watch many sneaker YouTube channels, but I like DJ Academics' channel. It's funny as hell. I watched the one with him and the Martin, whatever his name is, the one who had that drug to help people with AIDS. And they were like debating about Lil Wayne's album, if he really had the album or not, or if he just had some leaked tracks. It's a real good watch. You should check that out. And moving on, we got from Delta Dango. He writes, "Have I watched Rogue One? Thoughts?" I watched it 3 times. I absolutely loved it. Don't want to like spoil anything, but the only things that I disliked was I don't know, Darth Vader's voice seemed a little weird to me. Maybe it was because I haven't heard it in a while, but it just seemed a little off to me. And the music in the first half of the movie, I wasn't really a fan of. I thought the music got better during like the second and third act, but in the beginning, I wasn't a fan of the music. Like, the music that first comes on is so corny to me. Like, when the Rogue One pops up on the screen, it was like, it seemed like something like straight from TV, like made for TV movie. Like, I didn't like that at all, you know. And rest in peace to Carrie Fisher. Very sad. That was terrible to hear. And her mother, oh my God. How heartbreaking, right? I mean, really. Poor woman, while dealing with her daughter, and then that happening. Ugh. I feel bad for her family too. Like, can you imagine? You know, like, I think Carrie Fisher had a brother, and now, you know, he lost his mother and his sister within, like, you know, 24, 48 hours. It's so sad, you know, to think about that. Can you imagine dealing with that? Oh my goodness. We gotta send prayers out to them. Next we got from S. Roth, 13. What Jordan 13 release this year are you looking forward to the most? Probably the Flints. I would say the Flints. Next we got thoughts on any WWE upcoming events or titles. To be honest with you, I haven't really been watching like I used to. I'm kind of bored of the product lately and what they've been putting out. Like, I know we got that Royal Rumble coming, and we got Goldberg in there with Brock Lesnar, and I have a funny feeling that Goldberg's going to win, or Brock and Goldberg are going to throw each other out of the ring. That's my prediction on the Royal Rumble. Who knows who's going to actually win the Royal Rumble. Next we got from Nike and Coronas. He writes, why is Jordan Brand and Nike coming out with these luxurious editions of their shoes? I guess they're just trying to do something different and at the same time cash in on some more money. That's just my opinion. Top 5 cops for 2017. I'll probably do a video on that. I already started thinking about that. I'll save that for an actual YouTube video. And next we got from Daniel WJ. He writes, how do you rank the 3 different alterations of the Ultra Boost? I just like the original Ultra Boost. The first one. The second one's cool. The third one, the way the cage is, I'm really not that fond of the way the cage is on some of the colorways. I did understand them fixing the sole and putting the Continental rubber so it wouldn't wear down. But I think they need to chill out, you know. That's just my opinion. Next, we got from EP30. He writes, how are the resellers able to do pre-orders? A lot of these resellers are actually just selling you fake shoes and saying they're legit. That's how come they're doing pre-orders. That's why. But some people may, they may be able to get the sneakers backdoored early, which basically means they just get them, literally go from the back door and buy the shoes early, But a lot of these pre-orders are fake shoes. I don't recommend you doing pre-orders. It's not worth the risk. The fakes look almost as good as the reals. Next, we got from Ratchet Mike 28. Do you think the Mocha 3s will release? I hope so, but I doubt it this year. And also he writes, do you think we will see a first retro Lebron? I would love to see that. And if so, I'd love to see the 3 or the 2 retro. That would be awesome. Will Cub, he writes, Ronda Rousey. She needs to stop fighting. She should go to WWE. I think she would be fantastic at WWE. But she's done. She can't handle a punch. She's a wrap. Next we got from Mike Smooth 33. Do you think WWE will give Goldberg the title? I think it's possible. That may be a reason why he came back. For him to come back, he probably wanted things to go a certain way, and they could actually do that. They could actually also, I'm beginning to see maybe they may try to put over Roman Reigns or Braun Strowman through Goldberg. If you notice the end of that Raw right before the Royal Rumble, you see how they had that whole thing at the end, which was a little corny to me. It was a little cheesy, I gotta say. But they're gonna eventually use Goldberg to put over someone. But who knows? If he has the title, he has the title. I mean, we'll see. Next we got from BR Rags. He writes, what does it take for you to be my dad? I don't even know what to say. Much love. Next we got from Mike Smooth 33. Writes, why does Jordan Brand release Jordans every week? It's ridiculous. Give us consumers a break. They're wanting to see how far they could go with it. And if they sit on the shelves, that's fine, because they'll eventually start selling slowly. That's what a lot of retailers are talking to me about. When I go, I talk to the guys that work in retail, because I always do that as part of what I do. As far as someone that's into sneakers, I study the game. I want to know about what's selling, what's not selling, like what's going on sale. They're not putting a lot of these Jordans on sale, They're slowly selling these retros, They're slowly all selling. And next we got from the Ghost 7 writes, NMD hype in 2017 and Yeezy hype in 2017. It's going to stay hype. It'll definitely stay hype. NMD is, a product that's going to be around for a little bit. But to me, it's not messing with the Ultra Boost. Like, to me, the Ultra Boost is like the shoe, when it comes to Boost shoes. And that's it. That's all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Please share this, like it, tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell your mama, tell your father, tell your sister too. Tell everybody to listen to my show, please. You, and you. You gotta laugh sometimes, even if it's at yourself, right? But I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast, and definitely, please, tell people about my podcast. And guys, I need your support on YouTube. Let's get my channel popping more. I mean, without you guys, it's not happening. You guys, please hit the like button every time you watch my video. Share it on Facebook. I know you may think, oh, well, I only have 12 people that watch my Facebook. If I could get one person to start watching my video all the time and then they share it, that's how it goes. I need everyone to help me share and spread the word. Let's get my YouTube channel out there more. People will complain, how is your YouTube the best YouTube channel and it's not as popular as this guy or this guy? And it's because their support system goes hard, man. They share the videos, they like the videos, they get thousands and thousands of likes, and YouTube sees that and recommends their videos to more and more people. So I need that support. It really helps, And I'll continue to do all this. I'll do the podcast, I'll do the videos as long as it's worth my time doing it. So just show that love, and I will continue to do what I do. I got my blog, thesneakeraddict.com. Go to my blog each and every day, thesneakeraddict.com, morning, noon, and night, like clockwork. I am just a guy who loves sneakers, posting stuff on my blog. I'm not connected to any brand or this, that, and the third, like some of these other blogs who work for all these other brands. You know, I am someone that is just a sneaker dude that is posting stuff on my blog. So go to thesneakeraddict.com and also follow all my social networks. All that will be in the description box below. And I'm going to post this on YouTube, and I'm also going to connect the podcast I did last week to this one. So for people listening on YouTube, you're about to hear a whole nother podcast connected. Maybe I'll do that. Like, I'll post like every other week on YouTube and connect 2 podcasts. But just show that support. Let me know that you're listening to my podcast, whether you're on iTunes, Facebook, tweet me, leave comments, especially on iTunes. You could rate the podcast, and then iTunes will recommend my show to other people. I need that support, man. That's all I'm asking. It's not much. I've been on the microphone for a hot minute with you guys, talking kicks and life and having fun, and that's what it's all about. If I can entertain you guys, it puts a real smile on my face, and I love doing this. All right, I had to hop back up on here before ending this podcast. I just seen Soulja Boy's video on that Instagram Live getting punched, walking in the hood. I mean, come on, man. My friend, you know, he hit me up on the phone before. He was telling me about it. I had to jump back on here because this is pre-recorded, obviously. I just can't believe what I just watched. I just can't believe that happened. Like, you can't make this stuff up, man. Live on Instagram, and then wham! This dude is so delusional. And it caught up to him, man. It's a good thing he didn't get seriously hurt, from my understanding. But this is a good lesson for people, you know, that are talking and talking on the internet. It's going to catch up to you eventually. You know, someone's going to see you eventually, and it's going to happen, you know. Oh, man, that was funny, man. I don't think he got seriously hurt. He just got snuffed, and maybe his chain got took. But I just had to speak about it real quick before I go, because, you know, it happened live, and people were watching it, and then you heard my phone ding, and then I just seen it on YouTube. I just had to, like, turn back this microphone. I just can't believe that, man. I just can't believe this dude is too much. Too much. But you never know, too. Maybe Soulja Boy is trolling us because it seems so orchestrated. Like, it seems so perfect the way it happened. You just never know. Only time will tell. And speaking of Instagram Live, I have Instagram, which is Real DJ Dells, and I love Instagram Live now. I pop up on Instagram Live a lot, so make sure you follow me at Real DJ Dells on Instagram Live. And with that said, hit the thumbs up button for all you guys listening to this on YouTube. You're about to hear now my podcast from last week, or it may have been a little bit more than a week ago. But I'm sure most of you guys haven't heard that, because a lot of people just were wondering why I stopped doing them, and I've been doing them. They're just on iTunes. So if you're listening right now, look in the description box. You could hear so many more podcasts that you missed out on. And here's a treat. Another one for you guys, for everyone on YouTube. Enjoy. Guess who's back? Back again. Delsy's back. Tell a friend. Welcome to a new podcast. I go by the name of Dells. And man, it's great to be back on this mic and just chopping it up with everyone. I hope everyone's doing great out there. It's the holiday season, and a lot is going on. There's a lot going on. We got great stuff going on with sneakers, with pro wrestling, because I know a lot of people tune in for the wrestling talk, also to the sports talk, to the Star Wars talk even. Rogue One released today, and I gotta say, we'll start off with Rogue One. We gotta figure out what the grace period is before we can, like, really start talking about it where it's not a spoiler, you know, like, where there's no spoilers. Because I understand people are listening right now, and don't worry, I'm not gonna spoil nothing. I actually posted something on Instagram, and it kind of got a few people a little annoyed, and I apologize that I did do such a thing, because, you know, not everyone is like myself. Just because a lot of people are, you know, they don't have the time to do what I want to do sometimes, and that's go see the Star Wars movie when it first comes out, you know, and I don't blame people for that, you know, or be able to even see it a little early. But, you know, the movie's really good. I thought the movie was going to be really bad. The first trailer looked terrible, and I think they just didn't do the trailer right, the first one. Second trailer looked good, and then it just kept getting better and better and better and better and better. And there was a build-up where it kind of was good that the first one wasn't that impressive for some, like myself, because as it kept getting better and better, the anticipation for the movie to release just like got really big. And I am telling you now, if you love Star Wars, you got to see this one. You have to see this one, especially if you love A New Hope. It's basically like them like making this movie, and it literally just connects right to New Hope. That may have been a little bit of a spoiler. I mean, it doesn't literally connect to it, but it kind of, it's right there. That's where I'm trying to like get at. It's right there. So it's a must-see movie. And Darth Vader, we all know, is in it because he's in the trailer. He is so badass in this movie. You know, we kind of like softened up to Vader because it's been so long since people now, you see a funny Darth Vader t-shirt to bobbleheads and all types of stuff like that. Everything's like cutesy with Darth Vader. After you see this movie, it's back to, wow, this dude is ruthless. And this ain't a movie for your kids to see. I'm telling you now, you should not bring your kids to this movie. And I definitely don't recommend it. Unless they're teenagers. If they're younger kids, do not bring them to this movie. I even had my brother-in-law, that sometimes you gotta think who they are. I had my brother-in-law who he's a lot younger. He's like in his early 20s, you know, and he texted me and told me, do not take the girls to see this new Star Wars movie. So for him to tell me, who's a young dude, you know, when you're younger, you're a young guy. You're not thinking about that kind of stuff. For him to text me and tell me that means don't bring your kids to this movie. I thought it was dope that he did that too. Shout out to him. I don't know if he wants me putting his name out there. I doubt he even listens to this anyway. But, man, you gotta see it. You gotta see the movie. It's as simple as that. Now, what else did I want to speak about? I wanted to speak about Space Jam 11s because I think the Space Jam 11 was fantastic. I thought they did an amazing job. I mean, I was so happy when I opened up that box. And the first box I opened up was from Champs. They blessed me with a pair, and I'm thankful for that. But I got more pairs because I loved it so much. I loved how they did the whole thing from the box, which the box is great, but you can't wear the box. But still, they made it fun to get to the shoes, like just going through everything. And I appreciate the packaging. It kind of made it worth the $220 because of the fact they gave a whole lot versus the other ones that just have the plastic insert, that like artwork piece that when you pull out, you know, I know it doesn't cost that much money for them to make that cardboard piece, but I appreciated that cardboard art with the 23 and the 45, and it was good, man. It was a good experience opening up that package. The shoes were flawless on the first pair I got. Second pair I got, flawless. I got a third pair, flawless. I haven't heard any complaints except from one person who said their pair was terrible. And they even went ahead and made a video. And I got to salute that person for actually making the video and showing me. Because a lot of people won't do that. They won't make a video and show me. And he showed me something that was pretty interesting. In the video, he shows the carbon fiber. And on each shoe, it's different. On one, it's more of a smoother, but it's still, you could kind of feel the ridges a little bit with his nails. but for the most part, it's kind of smooth. And that's how mine are on all of my pairs. And they all came from licensed retailers. You know, they came from Champs, Foot Locker. Both of the other pairs came from Foot Locker. And on the other shoe, though, it was more rough, the carbon fiber shank. It wasn't the same. It was like definitely like, it looked different. And his shoe, he showed me, came from Nike. It had the receipt, it gives you like, you know, that sheet now. Congratulations, you own the Space Jam, da 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 da. You know, all that BS. So it was the legit pair. And I'm just curious to hear if anyone else has that with their shoes. Are they different? Is one shoe's carbon fiber different than the other shoe with the carbon fiber? Let me know. Also, gotta speak about the new Gucci Mane album that came out. I listened to it once, digging it. And also the Locks, LOX. They came out with a new album. If you don't know, I'm from the 914, so, you know, I always love hearing rappers coming from around my way and doing it like official, which is always basically. Man, that album is so good. The first listen, I couldn't believe. Well, I could believe, you know, because they never really put out anything whack, but this album is tight. It is really tight. I really recommend everyone checking out the Locks' new album. Man, it's so good. It's so good. It's so damn good. There's a track with the Locks and Mobb Deep, and it is just... There's so many good tracks. Every track is dope. There's nothing whack, no filler. Great album, great hip-hop album to end the year. And also, before we get to the Q&A, guys, please, I'm literally begging you, because I love doing these podcasts, and there's people that I know that love listening to these. Tell me on Twitter, when should I release my podcast? If there's a certain date I should release it, certain time even. Do you like them around, you know, Friday in the afternoon? Do you like them, you know, Mondays, Tuesdays? And also tweet the link to my podcast, whether you're listening to it on SoundCloud or on iTunes. I think a lot of people think that I stopped doing podcasts because I don't upload it on YouTube. But, you know, it's a podcast. It's supposed to be on iTunes, SoundCloud, platforms like that. So I need your help getting this out there because I'm spending a good amount of time with you all. And I don't mind doing it, but I want a lot of people to listen to this, you know. And I will do these podcasts more often. So I really need your help just promoting this podcast. Facebook, whatever you have, just share it. Every podcast, share it. Leave comments, whether you're listening to it on SoundCloud or on iTunes. iTunes especially, every single podcast, leave a comment. Leave feedback. Let me know also what you thought of the new show, like the new episode. Just please always rate my podcast and, you know, give it the 5 stars. Show that love because I'm kind of like, I need that push, you know, because I don't really know how many people are actually listening to this. I'm not that good with the technical stuff, so I'm basically just talking to the mic and then uploading it, and then that's it. So let me know. It's different than YouTube where it's right in your face. You see how many views, you see the comments, you see the thumbs ups. I just need that support. I need to get this out there. I really, really love doing this. So thank you to everyone that's listening, and let's try to get this really to another level, you know. And also let me know when you hit me up. Communicate with me. Hit me up. Let me know what you like the most. Do you like the sports talk? Do you like the sneaker talk? Do you like the wrestling talk? The movie talk? Is there anything else you want me to speak about? Because, you know, this is like a big fruit punch. You know, you got all different kinds of stuff going on and just thrown in a blender. You know, that's what the show is. It's basically just a whole bunch of stuff I like thrown in a blender. And I'd love to know your feedback on that. Is that what you guys like? Do you like if I just speak about one topic? I want the feedback so I can give you guys a better show. Because I want to entertain you all. I enjoy entertaining. So please give me that feedback. All of my social media will be in the description box to this podcast. So you can just go literally right now and just click away while you're listening. Follow my Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram. All of that's there. And the share button, you just got to click off somewhere on the screen and then just go ahead and share the episode. And thank you so much for everyone that does that. Yesterday, we found out that Craig Sager passed away, who's been battling cancer for a long time. And it was really sad. Sad news, you know. Really, really sad. We knew that day was going to come, and it did. And I definitely just send my prayers to his family and his friends. And we just got to celebrate his life. You know, we got a lot of great memories for us NBA fans. And I spoke about it yesterday on a new video. I did a video where it was an episode that was supposed to be just a pick one, where I showed the Damian Lillard one versus the Harden one. And I ended up getting a bunch of packages in the mail. I got a package from Champ Sports, and it was like the shape of a book. And I had no clue what it was. And it actually was a book. It was from Champs and DJ Khaled. It was DJ Khaled's book. And it was so random they sent that. But I enjoyed that they mailed that to me. I enjoy whenever I get gifts. I appreciate it. I think it's going to be a fun read, too. DJ Khaled is pretty damn funny. And he's smart, too. He's a smart guy. He's not just, to me, he's not a clown or anything. I actually really like DJ Khaled. So, you know, it's going to be a good read. Then I got a package from Crep Protect. They mailed me stuff, which was cool, because I ran into them over at SneakerCon. And I guess, you know, a few days later, they were like, hey, let's mail Dell's care package, which they do randomly. And I'm actually giving away some of the stuff they sent me. Like, I asked for 1,000 likes on my video. Hopefully we get there. When you hit the like button, it lets YouTube know to recommend my video to other people. So, like, when you hit the thumbs up button, it really, really helps. Like, even if you're, like, not signed on your YouTube account, like, sign on and hit the thumbs up button, because it really helps the channel, like, so much. That's why my views aren't as high as some of these other YouTubers, because they got all these, like, little kids that will do whatever they say, because they're little kids, you know. They'll go above and beyond, versus a lot of older heads are just like, I'm watching, entertain. You're not thinking about all that. But getting back to the video, I just had a bunch of other stuff to unbox. I got the New Days Collector Edition WWE box/figure set, and I thought it was just a fun thing to own. I love WWE. I'm a big fan of the New Day. They beat Demolition's record, which was awesome. You know, records are made to be broken. And Demolition I loved as a kid, but time goes on, and they're so entertaining. They entertained us for so much longer than Demolition. They deserved to win, you know. They deserved to beat that record. So I thought that was fantastic, the way they did that match. I got a little nervous when they, you know, won the first match. Everyone's celebrating, and then they set up a second match. And I was like, don't do this to these guys. You know, let them win. I was thinking in the back of my mind, maybe they were going to have them tie Demolition, because they had them up against basically the whole main roster. But they ended up beating everyone. And it ended up making it even more glorious, you know. Glorious. That Bobby Roode song. I love that song. But, man, it was so good. But when I was doing this video, unboxing and all this stuff, I found out on my Twitter that Craig passed away. And it just hit my heart. I had to finish the video because I was running out of time. And I had to put the camera where it wasn't facing me to show you guys the rest of the stuff I wanted to show, because I was literally tearing. I couldn't stop myself from tearing. You know, I'm a big fan of the NBA. I've been watching the NBA since I was a little boy. You know, I've been watching this man throughout my whole life. And I'm definitely very emotional around this time when it comes to death, because my mother passed away on the 9th of December. And not this year, last year. So, you know, it's a tough time because she passed away, and I'm still dealing with a lot of memories after she passed away, from funerals and family things. And you know, it's a rough wave for a couple more weeks, right before Christmas. Once Christmas hits, it's like, as much as I miss my mother, I got the kids. They're so happy with Christmas and Santa, and it's so great, you know, and it just heals me. But it's such a vicious scar, you know, where it kind of almost opens up sometimes when I hear news like that. It'll like, you know, it's like healing, and then all of a sudden, like, you know what I mean? Like, it'll just open up a little bit, just out of just hearing something that's terrible. 65 years old is not super young, but, you know, people should be living till they're like 80. And a lot of people die around 65. You know, I know so many people that died. My mother died when she was like 63. Like, people die young, you know, which is, I mean, 60s isn't young, but I think you guys understand what I'm saying. People used to live till they were 90, and people still do, you know. There's people that got grandparents that they're in their 90s, and I think that's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing. So, I just, like, I see a lot of people dying a little too young, and I definitely send my prayers out to his family. And we're going to get into some Q&A now. I think it's time to get to some Q&A. Sorry if I'm all over the place. If you're a new listener, that's just how it goes here. I really don't run with a script. I turn on the mic. You know, that red light goes on as a record, and I just roll with it. And I think it's good because this way things just come out. You know, it's natural. It's not scripted. Now, starting with this Q&A, the first thing we got is from Daily Wrestling Empire. He just writes, "You're the man. Thank you." And then, actually, you know what? Before we get into the Q&A, let's talk about Matt Hardy's Total Nonstop Deletion special that aired last night. Man, I thought it was like 50 to 60% great. And then the other, and I hate saying anything negative, but I gotta keep it 100. As much as I'm a fan of this new Broken Matt character and the brother Nero, I gotta say, like, 40% was kind of whack. My biggest problem was there was too many people that no one cared to see. Like that Trevor Lee, and I don't even know who the other guy is. Like, and I barely even know who Trevor Lee is. I mean, I know he's an upcoming guy, and I understand Matt's trying to put people over, but this is supposed to be, you know, the big thing that you put out. A whole, I think it was 2 hours of your own show. You need to have more faces that people are more familiar with. If you want to run with the Impact card, who you got on Impact, you should have had like EC3 on there, people that people really like, Eli Drake. These guys are not over enough. I understand, you know, as I said, I think he's just trying to help put over upcoming talent, and I respect that. But I think they had way too much camera time, and there was other guys there. I didn't know who the hell they were. I love the Rock and Roll Express on there. I actually just ran into those guys a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to them. And I was with Matt Hardy. You can check out that YouTube video in the description box below. I'll throw that eventually. If you don't see it right away, just go to youtube.com/The Dells Show. And you can see me with Broken Matt Hardy and the Rock and Roll Express. They were telling me all about everything. I was even kicking it with Senor Benjamin, who's a pisser. He's a great dude, too. Shout out to Benny. Shout out to Rebby, too. Everyone out in Queens. But getting back to a quick review, I think if they trimmed down all that stuff with Trevor and the other guy and focused more on Decay, the Hardys, and I thought what they did with the Rock and Roll Express was perfect. Everything else with all these other guys, I didn't like it too much. They could have trimmed it down. I did love the shot going at Triple H. That was funny as hell, man. Where you had the Hurricane back with Matt Hardy. And it was really funny, man. That was hilarious when they did that. The man with 3 H's, when he talks about burying upcoming talent. I thought it was really funny. Definitely watch it, but it was my least favorite out of all these, I guess we'll call them short films that they put out. I just felt like they should have grabbed more people that were tag team legends. That would have been great. Like, I love seeing the Rock and Roll Express. I think this is the third time I said that. But why don't you try to bring other people from back in the days? Bring the Bushwhackers or someone. Like, they could have done something better. Like, something more fun versus having people that are on the come up. I respect Matt for trying to put people on. Just like myself, you know, with the YouTube stuff. I always try to help the next generation of YouTubers that support me, of course. I mean, you got to support me. But I think I try my hardest to try to help people, you know. You guys show me a little love. I'm all for trying to help you guys out. And it's out there, you know. A lot of other upcoming YouTubers, they will agree with me on that, you know. Especially when I was at SneakerCon, you know. Getting back to the Total Nonstop Deletion special, I love the ending. I thought it was so funny with Crazy Steve when he shot up in the air and he landed in the ring. I thought that was great. Like, people like that, Abyss, they work with this whole thing that's going on. But I'm beating a dead horse, just saying the same thing over and over again. Entertaining, but they should have trimmed it down a little bit in time. And they didn't need to try to put over these upcomers too much. I mean, put them on it, but not as much as they did. People want to watch the broken Matt Hardy. They don't want to watch fight scenes with the other guys, you know. They don't care about the other guys. They're here to watch Matt Hardy, Brother Nero's, Jeff Hardy. They're wanting to watch that. That's what they want to watch. That's what's keeping Impact going. That, and then I would say like EC3 and a few other guys. These guys are what's keeping Impact going. But for the most part, I think most will agree it's Broken Matt Hardy. It's getting to the point where Broken Matt Hardy, his whole gimmick needs to go to WWE soon. As much as I hate it, there's not enough people that he can interact with to get to that next level. Unless he goes on a solo route and starts going against, you know, people like EC3 and Lashley. And I think that's the best bet. And speaking of Lashley, that fight never even ended, right? I'm pretty sure it didn't even end. Maybe it's still going on right now over at Cameron, North Carolina. We'll find out on Thursday. Let's get into some more Q&A. We've got from Eric Morels. He writes, how do I know Mayor? Well, I know Mayor because I hate to sound old, but I would say about 8 years ago, before all this Google Hangout stuff and all that, there was something called TinyChat. And I would have my room, which was, I'm pretty sure it's tinychat.com/DJ And you could go there right now. The page is still open over there. If anyone ever wants to go over there and just talk sneakers with other people, try it out. I don't know exactly how great that site works. Actually, you know what? Let me do this really quickly right now. I'll go to TinyChat. Yeah, it still works. And, you know, this is like something that a lot of people would come through and hang out. So you can have up to, I think it was like 16 people, and it would just be like the Brady Bunch, and a whole bunch of people would just sit and talk, sneakers, music. I would have people come by that I was just cool with. We had like Sean Price, he used to come in there all the time. You know, Ruck from Helter Skelter, rest in peace, by the way. He used to come in there. Even Rock used to come in there all the time and hang out. Mayor would come and hang out. A lot of people that just watched my YouTube show, they would come in all the time. And they ended up becoming YouTubers. Some of them were never YouTubers until they started hanging out and they started making their first videos, you know, just being inspired. There was people that were YouTubers that would come in there. Jumpman Bostic would come in there. And this was groundbreaking. There was nothing like this where there was video chat yet. There was no one doing video chat except on my TinyChat. And it would be 24/7. People would hang out there. You know, I'd hop in and there would be people in there hanging out, talking kicks. People would be there all night. It would be a lot of fun. Sometimes, you know, random people would show up. There'll be times girls will show up and just start flashing everyone and going crazy, to just a lot of just sneaker talk, just tons and tons of sneaker talk. It was pretty classic, man. It was the classic little era, man. And it was like the beginning of sneaker chats like Google Plus has now. This was the first sneaker chats. If you ask people like Mayor. You can ask Mayor to tell you about DJ Dell's sneaker chats on TinyChat. Even Premium Pete used to hop in there. I'm trying to think of other sneakerheads that used to be in there, or people. Little C's used to come in there here and there. So many people that are into sneakers used to come on there. But yeah, ask Jumpman Bostic even. He'll tell you the first sneaker chats ever was on this TinyChat site on my site. It would go on for forever. So that's how me and Mayor got to know each other, because besides the TinyChat thing, he would go on Ustream. So with this going on where you can actually see like the faces, you know, there was Ustream that was going on also. And Mayor would be there where you just watch Mayor talk and show off his amazing shoes and people could chat in the box. Versus, you know, on the TinyChat, you could literally see up to 16 people and then you would have people typing in the box. And what happened is I would go check out Mayor's thing, and then Mayor would come on and check out my thing and hang out. And he was like, he had like a schedule. I think it was like every Thursday he put on a show on Ustream, and it was awesome. And that's how I began to talk to Mayor. And then I met Mayor. I was DJing for this car show where they had sneakers also for Funkmaster Flex, and his booth was next to my DJ equipment, all of his sneakers and stuff. And we already knew who we were via internet, but we never met in the, like, actually physically met. It was just, you know, from the screens, internet shit. And to me, like, you don't meet someone until you actually really meet someone, like, you know. And I met him, and, you know, it was all love. You can actually see that video. Just search DJ Dell's Mayor Funkmaster Flex on YouTube, and you'll be able to see that video from, you know, I think it's like 8 years ago, man. And that was when Mayor was big, man. Mayor lost a lot of weight. I seen Mayor last week at SneakerCon. We talked kicks. I filmed us talking for, I think it was a good 3 to 4 minutes, talking sneakers, talking about his favorite sneaker, and talking about even the weight loss, you know, trying to inspire people and whatnot. And that was just on camera, and we caught up. He's in the vlog that I put out on SneakerCon. So check out the vlog, the SneakerCon vlog. It's called Sneakerhead Sells His Shoes Off of His Own Feet in Public. That's the title of it. I'll probably put a link to that also in the description box below. It's a vlog just going through SneakerCon, but this one kid sold the shoes off of his own feet. He was walking around the convention with just socks on. I thought that was wild. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. That's basically how I know Mayor, man. And me and Mayor keep in touch, you know. Shout out to the big homie Mayor. Next we got from SneakGeek87. He writes, "Are you glad you ended up going to SneakerCon Charlotte? It was great seeing you there." Thank you, man. It was good seeing you too over there, man. And everyone else that supports my channel or has their own YouTube channel. That's what I love about going to these kind of places, just meeting people, you know, especially the people that support my show. And that was the only thing I really liked about SneakerCon. SneakerCon is just like a big, like a flea market almost, like where everyone's just selling shoes, you know. It's like there's no displays really. There's nothing like that special. You know, it's unfortunate because Jumpman Bostic, he used to be in the SneakerCons where he would just display his shoes. And of course, every time I go to SneakerCon, he's not there displaying his shoes. Like, I wish there was more of that kind of stuff where people could display their shoes. And I spoke about it on a podcast, I think, if it wasn't last podcast, it was the podcast after last, where I spoke about how I wanted to go there and display my sneaker collection at the last SneakerCon. And SneakerCon told me that'll cost you $175. Meanwhile, they used to invite me to SneakerCon all the time and email me mad passes for free and shit. Like SneakerCon ATL, I think they sent me like 4 or 6 passes for free. I ended up not being able to make it and gave them away to one of my viewers. But, man, it's just like a whole shitload of people just selling sneakers. That's all it is. They had one exhibit where they had like Legos, like sculpted out as sneakers, and that was cool. But besides that, it was just a whole lot of people just selling their stuff. And to me, that's boring. Like, how much of that can I see? They didn't have too many limited shoes, and everyone just selling Yeezys and Yeezys. Everyone was selling Yeezys. Everyone was wearing Jordans or runners like Asics and Saucony. No lie. There were people wearing, you know, Yeezys, but there were way more of the other shoes versus people wearing Yeezys. Everyone was selling Yeezys. I mean, people had piles of the Yeezys just piled up like a hot mess. Just had piles and piles of them. People trying to sell them. To me, like, that bothers me when I see that. It's like there's no culture. And I went to a crazy rant on the last podcast where I talk about how foul the culture is now. See, like, I notice now, there's the young kids that, like, they don't care about culture. They just want to know what's popping now. And then there's the real sneakerheads that they know about everything. They know about the history, about people and the sneakers and, you know, this guy and that guy, you know. That's what's special to me. Like, I seen kids ask a whole bunch of YouTubers to sign their shoe. And it was right by Mayor, right? And I'm looking, and they didn't even ask Mayor to sign the shoe. And I'm thinking to myself, what? I mean, this is Mayor right here. I mean, they're young kids. Don't get me wrong. They're like maybe like 10 years old, 9 years old. And they're asking a bunch of YouTubers that are like this generation. They were all hanging out right in front of Mayor. He had a booth because he was with Crep Protect. And I'm looking at the shoe and I'm seeing who else signed it. And they didn't even ask Mayor to sign the shoe. And I'm like, this is insane. This is how sad the sneaker world is. They are asking all of these new YouTubers to sign the shoe. Meanwhile, Mayor is like, he's like the god, man. When it, like, this guy's an OG, man. And they didn't even ask him because they're so young and they only are focused into what's now. You know what I mean? They're not focused into the history of the shit, you know? They were kids, they walked right past me and they wanted to get pictures with a whole bunch of other YouTubers. But that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But when I see like Mayor, I'm like, oh my God, they don't even, like, these kids, not all of them. I'm not saying all of them. So if you're young and you're like, yo, fuck you, man. I know you. I know Mayor. I fuck with you guys. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about majority that was there at this event. It was crazy. It was crazy. And there was some kids that were so almost like nervous to meet me. They were like stuttering and they were like starstruck when they met me. I am not a star. If you see me, I am not famous. Say what's up to me. I will take a picture with you. I will talk to you about sneakers as long as I have time. I will at least talk to you for 10 seconds. You know what I mean? I will never just walk past people like a dick. I am not famous, okay? So don't treat me like I'm famous as far as people that watch my show. If you're a company, treat me like I'm famous. If you guys want to work with me, of course. But as far as my supporters, please don't. There was this one kid, I know, the Sneak Geek 87 dude, he was with me. And he was like, yo, I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Like, the kid couldn't even speak. And I want you guys, especially you young people out there, I want you to just be able to talk to me. Like, don't treat me like I'm a celebrity. I'm not. I'm not a celebrity, man. I'm not. I'm just like you guys. I may be different as far as how I speak, and I may be, you know, I know I'm a little different. I got a few screws loose. I'm a little odd, you know, and I know I'm entertaining because of that. But I'm not a celebrity, guys. Don't treat me like that. Just talk to me, you know. Be cool. Let's have fun, man. If I'm at a sneaker event, let's have fun, man. That's what it's about, all right? And much love, you know, to everyone I met out there, for real. Next we got from Big Boy Inc. He writes, do you think Jordan Brand may go back to limited pairs for a few releases next year? Yeah, I mean, they did that with it this year, if you think about it, like those gold Jordan 6s. They did it with that this year. Next we got from SalGood312 writes, how do we battle bots for orders online? You can't mess with the bots. The bots took over everything, man, you know. I read BattleBots at first. I like that show. BattleBots, call me a nerd. I don't care. I love it. battle bots. Let me know if you know about battle bots. Hit me up on Twitter too if you know about battle bots, or Instagram. That makes me happy. Like when people interact with me, when they listen to this, I love that shit. Like it makes me so happy. If you want to make me happy, like please, like always, hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter. All that's in the description box. Recap for 2016 in sneakers. Michael Francisco wants me to speak about that. I will in the video that's coming out soon, where I do my top 10 or maybe top 16. Let me know what you guys want me to do. Once again, tweet me. Next we got from, I can't even say this guy's screen name, but he wrote, if Adidas were to pass Nike in US sales, never happening. Never ever happening, first of all. Would Nike put retros and Yeezys on Nike ID? Nah, I don't think so. Next we got from DJ Monte Carlo. He writes, with all the success and history with New Day on Monday, even with all the hate, people were hating on New Day. I know there's people that are tired of New Day because some of their jokes haven't been hitting lately, but most of them have still though. But I see how people are kind of like hating, or they're kind of tired of New Day. He's basically asking me if the people that are kind of hating, or they just not digging New Day, is it because they're old WWF fans, WWE fans, or is it a race thing? In a positive way, could you give light to the subject matter? Well, I already talked about them beating Demolition, and it could be a race thing. It definitely could be. You know, people that are racist against blacks, they're not going to want to see New Day beat Demolition's record because they're white dudes. So there's definitely people that are racist. I don't see any like color when I see wrestling. I just see shit that entertains me and shit that's boring and just sucks. You know, you just want to throw tomatoes at the screen. And New Day has entertained us for so long. They deserve to win. They deserve that title. Basically, to make a long story short, fuck you if you racist. Next question we got, forbidden something. Is Obama Muslim? I'm pretty sure he celebrates Christmas. I've seen it on TV, so no, he isn't. Next we got from HPT Say 812 writes, what is some ways for WWE and WWE athletes to shift their careers outside of the ring? Most have done it through acting. However, do you think that path will work for most instead of the select few like The Rock and Batista? No, it's not going to work for everyone. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Dave Batista, these guys have star quality written all over them. And a lot of these other guys, you know, they are basically like stuntmen. They've got a look to them, but can they really act, you know? I mean, yes, they can act as far as being a wrestler, but can they really deliver when it comes to actually acting and taking them seriously? They have a bunch of WWE movies. I really haven't seen any of them. Let me know if you guys have seen any of them. I know there's one with Kane and Dolph Ziggler. I was curious about that one. If you did see that, let me know how their acting is. Same with Randy Orton. He's been in a bunch of different movies that WWE has put out, and he's in this new show, Shooters. I'm pretty sure it's called Shooters. And I watched a couple of episodes. It was pretty good. He wasn't in those episodes, but it's a pretty interesting show. You should probably check it out. But I think he's in the newer episodes that just came out this week and I think last week. And The Miz is in a bunch of movies that I haven't watched. You know, I only watched The Miz on WWE, which I find extremely entertaining. I think he's really funny. And I even like his wife. Besides her being smoking hot, I think she's funny too. But, you know, only some are going to make it to that next level. I would say John Cena is on his way. He did Saturday Night Live. He did pretty good. The problem with Saturday Night Live SNL is that the cast, for the most part, isn't dead on funny all the time. They're hit or miss. It's not like back in the days where the cast was hilarious. They need to find new talent with Saturday Night Live. But John Cena, I can see in the future doing more and more movies and being more successful as far as an actor. Next we got from Harris Made. He writes, do you think Nike or Jordan Brand will continue to use OG treatments? on the holiday 11s for now on. I love to see Bread 11 OGs. Definitely. They definitely will continue with the OG colorways. We'll see with the new colorways that we'll be releasing next year. From what I hear, it's going to be a blue colorway, like a new colorway. And I'm not very fond of a new colorway with the 11s. Keep it OG, but hey, it is what it is. I was hoping for the cool grays to come back, but, you know, looks like that's not happening. Next we got from E. Price the King. He writes, what sneakers in 2016 you weren't able to get? All the Yeezys. I wanted the Yeezys. I wasn't able to get not one of the V2 350s. And, you know, I tried to see if anyone would help me out with getting them. And I had no luck. No one, you know, was able to help me out as far as quote-unquote, you know, plugs, which basically means me hitting up Adidas people and seeing if they could help me. That's my plug, the people I know at Adidas. And sometimes some of my amazing supporters hit me up and, you know, they'll charge me box price just because they got love for me, or we'll do trades or something. But I wasn't able to get a pair of Yeezys. I really wanted the V2 because I have the regular 350 and I loved it, but unfortunately no luck with the V2. And I wanted to try on the 750s and see how those feel. Had no luck with the 750s either. So those are shoes I wasn't able to get. And besides that, I can't think of much off top. I think I did pretty good this year on sneakers I really wanted. Next we got, let's see, Lion Kicks. He writes DC movies. I think DC comics, like all their characters, as far as the movies that came out lately, I haven't really been into them, to be honest with you. I didn't like the Batman vs. Superman. I'm just not into it, you know. I've always been more of a Marvel guy, even with the comic books that I read as a kid. I did love Batman and Superman and a few others, but, you know, I'm a Marvel guy at heart. Also, before I forget, guys, if you're looking for some new hoodies, make sure to check out Cousins Brand. I'll put information in the description box below. A lot of heads always ask me, yo, what hoodie are you wearing? That's a dope hoodie. Especially when I was at SneakerCon. They were like, yo, I like that hoodie, man. That's where I got the hoodie. And the great thing about it is use code DJDELZ. Z as in zebra. DJDELZ. Use code DJDELZ and you will get about, I think it's either 30 or 40% off even on the hoodies. They got great hats. They got Scullies. I think they even got joggers too. They got a lot of great clothes. I'll put the link in the description box below. So if you want to check that out while you're even listening, just go ahead and check it out right now and check out some of the stuff they got. I recommend going true to size on all of it. And man, the hoodies, they got the best hoodies. They really got great hoodies. So check them out. Great deals with the code DJDELZ at checkout. And let's get back to more Q&A. We're at the bottom. We're almost done over here. Unfortunately, I'm in the mood to like do a lot of questions. Looks like we just got a couple of more. We got from Eric Morales. He writes, what 3 shoes that were super limited do you wish were GRs? Well, it's all of the Yeezy ones. Even though I had the Yeezy one, the story behind the Yeezy one is I got a 9.5 and they run really big. So like it fit like I was wearing a size 10. So I got rid of those. And I sold them for such a ridiculous price. I could have gotten so much more for them. But at the time, you know, reselling wasn't so big, you know, like it is now. I would love to own the M&M 4s. I'm a huge M&M fan. I do think the M&M 2 is way better than the 4 because there's so much more detail to it. But I'd love to own the M&M 4s. And you know what shoe I always wanted was the Stewie LeBrons. The Stewie LeBrons. I always wanted those, or the graffiti LeBrons. Those are shoes I always wanted, man. And when I see them at sneaker events, I just love looking at them, like, you know. And that's what I was talking about before with like sneaker events. Like I enjoy looking at heat, like just seeing stuff that I wish I had and being able to see it. I did see undefeated 4s at the Sneaker Con, but that was like on the low because there was like a trade going on and it wasn't even displayed. I just was able to see a bunch of heat. That's actually in the video. I even show you guys the Drake versus Lil Wayne's in my SneakerCon Charlotte 2016 video. I'm going to throw a link eventually in the description box. Well, you guys got to see that video. It's sick. But yeah, answering your question, those are some of the shoes I wish I had that were limited and sold out super quick. And last question is from Andre254. Are you ready for Christmas? And are you ready to watch your kids open up their presents? Yes, and they are gonna go crazy when they open up the Hatchimals and all that. I got all that good stuff for them. They're gonna go nuts, you know. They got a bunch of stuff. The dolls, those big dolls. You could dress them up in all kinds of outfits. I forgot what it's called. American Doll or something like that. I forgot. But yeah, you know, I knock out my Christmas stuff early so that I don't like have to deal with it later on. And they're going to have a blast. They're going to have a real blast for Christmas. And my daughter's birthday is 2 days after Christmas, so I already got her set up for her birthday gifts. You know, it's a good time. As I was saying earlier in the podcast, it's a little rough, like around Thanksgiving to like the second week of December, but then I shake it off. We get close to the holidays, and I'm just all for my kids. You know, I love my kids so much, so, you know, it's exciting. And that's it for today's podcast. I ran through those questions. If I forgot any, I apologize. Just let me know on the next podcast. I always post podcast questions. What do you want me to speak about on my Instagram, which is at RealDJDells. So make sure you follow RealDJDells, and I will try to answer everyone's question. And if I miss it, just ask again. Please don't forget, share this podcast. I really need this to get out there more, and it's not gonna unless you guys share the podcast, leave comments, and also major that you guys leave feedback. You know, just leave some positive feedback. If you have some critique for the show, leave that too. Just leave feedback, rate it on iTunes. So important on iTunes because, you know, they have rankings, so the more love I get, you know, as far as people interacting, the better it is for my show. They recommend stuff. Just like YouTube, when you hit that thumbs up button, it helps YouTube know to recommend my show to other people, and it helps my channel. If you're tired of all these hypebeast channels, you guys say all the time, these guys don't really love sneakers, they're just in age, and you have these great reviews that are so detailed and they help us so much. How come your videos don't get as much views? It's because I'm not getting all those likes like these other guys. You know, all these hype beasts, quote unquote. They have a following of quote unquote hype beasts that hit the like button, share all their videos. You know, I need that support, guys. So if you want to help me to continue doing what I'm doing, you know, that's how to do it. So please, you know, show that love. And I thank every one of you guys that do so. And that's it for today's vid. I really love doing these, so please just be interactive with me so I know that you guys love listening to them. Don't forget the sneakeraddict.com for your sneaker news. The sneakeraddict.com, I always post all kinds of sneaker news, restock information, and I tweet all that also on Twitter, so look in the description box if you're not following my Twitters. That's it for today's podcast. Everyone be great out there. Much love, and we out.